Let's just go ahead and get it started. Perfect. And then if you would like a couple of blocks, feel free to grab those. And then I don't think you'll need a strap or anything else today, but if you know that you just typically like that kind of thing, go ahead and grab that, right? No harm, no foul. Let's get started in Sukhasana. So in a seated position, cross your feet at the ankles, roll your shoulders back and down, let your chest rise, stacking your vertebra one on top of the other like a staircase. And then do me a favor, go ahead and take your your index and your middle finger pads to the tops of your, I'll face forward so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here on the knots on the fronts of your shoulders so that you can roll that back. So your collarbones broaden, your chest opens, and then you lift your chest. So you can kind of notice during your practice that your shoulders will roll forward sometimes. And we're really trying to get expansive across the front side of the body so that your heart space, all of the fascia, the musculature around this begins to stretch and open a little bit more. And when you create that space, you're also going to create a slight lift. And so when that happens, you're pulling your rib cage up and off of your hips where it like would naturally like to be, right? If our posture was kind of what it was intended to be. And once that happens, you'll begin to notice that when you breathe, if we can truly get that intercostal expansion, so everything between your ribs, your lungs go or have a better chance at going to full capacity, right? So your lung and respiratory function increases, it gets better. So that's kind of what we're looking for, right? So go ahead and stack, let the crown of your head rise so everything lengthens, roll back, and then think of your shoulder blades as they pin lightly to your upper back. And then your hands can rest on your knees, in your lap, whatever feels good. Close down the eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. And then exhale completely. Let everything out, but keep the length in your spine so you're good posture. And then with your inhale, allow for the breath to rise, for the crown of your head to lift. Everything is getting longer. And with the exhale, you empty it back down, let it all go. Inhale to rise. And exhale to empty, to soften, to release. Your chin is maybe slightly lifted off of the chest. Inhale, full capacity. When you get to the top, you might even take a gentle pause. And then exhale to empty it back out, to let everything go and pull your belly in and up. Inhale, let the crown rise. Your rib cage expands, your lungs go to full capacity. And then you exhale to empty, to let it go, to release back down. Take a few more rounds of breath right here, just at your own pace. And if setting an intention is something that serves you for a gentle and stretched practice, I find that setting an intention for every practice is helpful to me. This is a great place to do it. What did you show up for? And then move and breathe accordingly, right? And really use your breath. It's a breathing practice more than anything else. So don't skip it. Now, if your neck is bothering you today, or you have anything like degenerative disc, bulging discs, anything like that, you're going to simply look side to side, right? To start to release your neck. If your neck feels pretty good today, no other issues that might be exacerbated by rounding through your cervical spine. And I want you to turn your nose back towards center. Take an inhale, lengthen. The crown of your head rises. Keep the shoulders back and down. And then with your exhale, tuck your chin towards the jugular notch. So get your chin to tuck down and feel an opening through the backside of your neck. On your next inhale, stay right here. And then exhale, roll your right ear towards your right shoulder or your right clavicle, nice and easy. And then you inhale, bring your chin down. And exhale, take your left ear to your left clavicle or your left shoulder. And you just go side to side. Nothing crazy. Just create some space through the sides of your neck. Probably feeling this into the base of your cervical spine, the top of your thoracic spine. Perhaps. I know I do, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be what happens for you. And then the next time your ear moves over to the left, I want you to come back down through center. And then nice and slow, bring the crown of your head back up. Let everything get neutralized. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. And get as tall as you can. On the exhale, twist over to the right. Your left fingertips find the outside of your right thigh. Your right finger pads come down to the ground. Use your right arm like a second spine. And with your inhale, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, twist a little bit more. Gaze over your right shoulder. Perfect. Now take your right hand, reach it towards the back of your mat, reach it forward, cross your right arm over the left. The right fingertips find the top of your left knee, so the arms make an X in front of you. And then dome out your upper back. Tuck your chin, pull your belly in and up. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, open your arms up and out, elbows back and down, lift your chest, so cactus your arms. And then you inhale, reach both arms high. And exhale, twist over to the left. Right fingertips find your left outer thigh, left hand behind your left hip. Use your left arm like a second spine. So as you inhale, lengthen through your back, press your left finger pads down. On the exhale, twist a little bit deeper, perhaps chin over your left clavicle or shoulder head. And then reach your left fingertips towards the back of your mat, up towards the sky. And as you exhale, rotate back forward, cross your left arm in front of the right, create an X. Left hand grabs the kind of top of your right knee. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, dome out your upper back, tuck your chin. Opening up through your upper back. Pull the pit of your belly in. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, release. Take your elbows out and back, cactus your arms, lift your chest, roll your clavicles into an expansion rather than pulling them closer to one another. And this time, take an inhale here and then exhale, Baddha Hasta. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Make a little fist. If this is more than you feel like doing, then grab onto opposite elbows. Just continuing to open up the front side of your torso. Some of you, the knuckles might come down towards the ground. It's all good. Don't make it like a goal. It just might happen. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Pull the pit of your belly in, but then gently arch your belly forward. You're just supporting your low back by not letting everything just hang out. And then as you exhale, feel this one out. You can tuck your belly in, hinge forward at your hips, let your forehead come down, and work your fist up and off of the small of your back. If it's too much, just skip it, right? It's all good. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, release. Inhale, gently bring your shoulders back up over your hips. And then exhale, let's all meet in box pose. Sounds good. Let's find all fours. So shimmy yourself back. I'm going to slide, because y'all know these 40-year-old knees are like hardwood floor what? So I'm going to slide something back underneath my knees. And then make sure you're kind of on the center of your mat. So not too far forward, not too far back. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers out wide. Press down into the webbing between your thumb and your forefinger. And then with your inhale, drape a soft belly down. Let's just cat-cow for a second. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then on the exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back. Bring your navel toward your spine. Let your head hang down. And then inhale, round back through. Take a sway to your low back. Lift your chest, lift your chin. And on the exhale, reverse it. Dome out your upper back, navel to your spine. And then let's take one more inhale, belly down, heart forward between your upper arm bones. And then exhale to reverse it. And then inhale, come back into a neutral spine. Stay for your exhale. Now, step your right foot as you inhale to the back of your mat, but stay on the ball mounds of your right foot. And let's just stretch out the right calf for a moment, kind of rock it back and forth. Nice. And then restack your joint shoulders over your wrists. Now, inhale, lift your right leg to hip height. Dial your right pinky toe down. Pull your belly in and up so you're supporting your lumbar spine. Now, on your exhale, cross your right foot all the way over to the left. It's going to come off of your mat. Now, glance down. If your left hip shifted over to the left, try to restack it on top of your thigh, on top of your knee, so you get a straight line there. And then pull your right shoulder forward. And let's get a stretch through the right side body. And then you might gaze towards your left shoulder. Breathe here. And then as you inhale, float your right leg back up to the sky. And on the exhale, take your right leg out to the side body. Press your right foot down with all 5 toes pointing forward. And then from here, root your right palm down into the ground. With your inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, thread the needle, left arm underneath the right. Come down to your left shoulder, your temple, your ear. And then your left fingertips can reach towards your right toe. It doesn't matter if they get there or not. And then your right arm can reach forward. You can wrap around the small of your back in a half bind. I typically like to leave my right arm reaching forward and then my right armpit towards my left elbow crease. Just breathe here. And then slide your right hand back in front of your face, root your palm down. Inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, plant your left hand down on the ground. With your inhale, float your right leg up and back. And then nice and slow, exhale, bring your knee towards your chin, your chest, your nose. Dome out your upper back, just so you get a rounding of the spine. I promise it's not a lot of core work. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, step your right foot forward. You're probably going to slide your left knee back a little bit so that your right knee tracks your heel or your ankle. But you catch this diagonal line from your left hip to your thigh to your knee. Root your right foot down. Now, this is a great spot to have some blocks if you want them. And you can place those on either side of your right foot. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale right here. And then stay for your exhale. Now, you're going to really press your right foot down and kind of squeeze your inner thighs towards one another for stability and balance. And then inhale, bring your shoulders up over your hips, your arms up over your head. And I just want you to take a moment and realize that whenever you take that pause right here from stepping your right foot forward and you're here, if you wait just a moment and get everything together before you come up, the wobble typically is less, right? I'm not going to say it completely eliminates, but it's typically less. So allow for your pelvis to kind of soften down and forward, but you're still controlling it. So it's not a drop, right? Now with your inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. So you're going to feel your floating ribs lift up and away from the tops of your hips. On the exhale, open arm twist. Take your left fingertips forward, your right fingertips back. Your gaze might even go over your right arm towards your right thumb. So drishti is always important. It's what keeps us focused in our practice, present, right? Wherever your eyes, your gaze goes, your attention will follow. Yeah? And then on your next inhale, swing your right arm back up and forward. And then exhale, bringing your elbows back and down towards your ribs. Lift your chest. Inhale, take your arms high. On the exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Inhale, left palm stays down. Right arm reaches up to the sky. On the exhale, simply bend your left knee and drive your heel towards your left glute, but don't do anything else. I know it's so hard to not just reach back and grab, right? But we're going to build some different muscle memory for your brain. Now take your right hand, just reach it back. So what I'm trying to do is break the default, right? It's okay if eventually your hand goes to your foot, but it doesn't have to, and it doesn't have to every time. So your right knee still tracks your heel or your ankle. Now if the hand can grab onto the back of the foot, go for it. Nicely done. Now from here, I'm going to reach towards the inner arch of my left foot. And on the inhale, I'm going to kick into my hand and rotate my right shoulder open. And then as I exhale, I'm actually going to slide my right hand back towards the outer edge. It feels a little bit better today. On the exhale, I'm going to round my right shoulder forward and possibly tap my right knee. Don't do it if it doesn't feel good. Inhale, kick into your hand, rotate your shoulder open, gaze maybe towards the back of your mat. Exhale, rotate your right shoulder towards your right knee. It's a lot on the left quad as well. Last one, inhale, open. I'm going to baby bend into my right elbow because I felt an overextension happening. And then as I exhale, round it back forward, tap. Inhale, come right back. Release your left foot to the ground with control. And on the exhale, let your right hand come back up and over to frame your right foot. Inhale, curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. Exhale, shift your hips back, straighten your right leg, and take a pyramid pose. Now, if it would feel better to you to be down on your back knee in a half split, you do. Yeah, perfect. Press down into the big toe ball mound of your right foot if you're here with me with the back knee lifted. And then spin your navel towards your right thigh bone. You can also have a gentle or a deep bend into your right knee. Breathe here, relax your face. You could also even take your left hand and rub the back side of your right hamstring. Now, depending on where you're at today, it's either going to be a bent right leg or a straight right leg to transition. But on your inhale, take all of your weight into your right foot. And then exhale, just place your left foot next to the right and forward fold. Let your head hang down completely. Let it all go. And then I kind of like to bend one knee and then the other. Get a little bit of baby movement here. And then let your head hang completely down. Your neck is relaxed. Nothing to see here, right? As you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. And then on your next inhale, slowly come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And on the exhale, your palms are sealed. Slowly bring them down to heart center. And breathe. Now inhale, reach your arms out and up. Get as long as you can. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, chest to your thighs, drop your head down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, hands down, step your feet back. And go ahead and bring your knees straight down to the ground. I'm going to slide these blocks out of my way. On your inhale, shift yourself slightly forward. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows and come all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, so pubic bone, toenails down on the ground. Hands outside your chest. And on the inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Keep all 10 toenails down on the ground if you can. And then exhale, melt yourself down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, your baby cobra. And then exhale to bring it back down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, pass through all fours. Bring your hips to your heels. And find Balasana, your child's pose. Rest your forehead down on the ground. And then on your next inhale, pop on up. Find your box pose. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Knees underneath your hips as you exhale. Inhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Let's stretch out the left calf. So just roll forward and backward. Keep your breath deep, steady, and even. And then stack your joints. Inhale, lift your left leg up to hip height. Dial your left pinky toe down. Navel in and up. And then as you exhale, cross your left foot over to the right, all the way off of your mat. Now glance down at your right leg, right hip, thigh, and knee are all in a straight line. And then pull your left shoulder forward. Oh, feeling that today. Nice. So maybe you gaze back over kind of towards your right shoulder, even your right toes, but watch your left shoulder because mine just totally pulled up towards my left ear. Breathe. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up to about hip height. And then exhale, take your left leg out to the side body. Plant your left foot down on the ground. All 5 toes point forward. And then you seal the outer edge of your left foot to the earth. Left palm stays rooted. Inhale, float your right arm up to the sky. And then exhale, thread the needle. Right arm underneath the left. Your right fingertips look for your left big toe, but we're not concerned about them actually getting there. And then bring your right ear, your temple, your shoulder to the ground. Option for your left hand to just stay there in front of your face, to reach forward, to wrap around the small of your back in a half bind. Maybe you try them all on and see which one you really need today. And then once you get into your spot, stay there and breathe. Feel the opening around your right scapula. And then everything that's happening around the intercostal, specifically on the right side. And then what's happening where your sternum attaches to your ribs, right? And when you're ready, slide your left hand back in front of your face. Root your palm down. Inhale, float your right arm to the sky. And then exhale, place your right hand down on the ground. With the inhale, 3-point balance. Float your left leg back to hip height. Dial your left pinky toe down. On the exhale, knee to your chin, your chest, your nose. Dome out your upper back. It's meant to just kind of counter all of that, not overly do core for your gentle class. So take an inhale. And then exhale, step your left foot forward. I'm going to slide my right knee back just a little bit to catch that diagonal from the right hip to the right knee, but the 90-degree bend on the left knee. This is a great spot if you want to grab your blocks again. Frame your front foot. Just be intentional about where you're going. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. Get into your space. Press the big toe ball mound of your left foot down. And then inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Salamba Anjaneyasana, your supported crescent pose. And then as you exhale, just stay. Breathe. Let the pelvis soften down and forward. Navel drawing in and up, shoulders down. Your gaze, your drishti could be at your tip of your nose or at a spot just out in front of you, right? Now, with your inhale, reach your fingertips higher. So notice your floating ribs come up and off of the tops of your hips. And then exhale, reach your right arm forward, your left arm back. And then you might gaze over your left thumb. It's typical for the left knee to try to flare out, but you're going to hold it right here. Exhale completely. And then inhale, swim your left fingertips down, forward, back up. And exhale, take your elbows back and down, lift your chest. Inhale, reach your arms high. And then exhale, plant your hands either on your blocks or down on the ground. Now, inhale, right palm stays rooted. Float your left arm up. Stay right here for a second. Notice everything that you're feeling. Nothing has to be perfect. When you're ready, dig your right heel towards your right glute. Watch your left knee and your shin, as well as the right shoulder and elbow. So just allow for what's happening on the front of your right hip to be there, right? Without doing anything else. And then when you're ready, you reach your left hand back. It does not have to grab onto the foot. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, great. Just create this muscle memory. And notice how you're still getting the stretches that are intended with this movement without catching the bind. The bind is extra and it's unnecessary unless it just happens for you. Now, if you want it, reach your left hand back, grab your, I'm going to switch it from what I would normally say. I'm going to say your outer arch today. If you want to move into this shoulder rotation, getting into that very specific part of your upper thoracic spine, on the inhale, kick your foot into your hand, open. And then as you exhale, watch your right knee, watch your right quad. Rotate forward and tap your left shoulder to your left knee. Inhale to kick back, to open. Oh, I just got a spinal adjustment. Exhale, rotate your left shoulder forward. Last one, inhale, watch your right arm. Exhale, round forward. Oof. Inhale, open this back up. Relax your right foot down to the ground. And then let your left arm reach back up and over. Now curl up your right toes. Lift your right knee. This is your inhale. Exhale, pyramid pose. You can bump your right foot in. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. And then spin your navel towards your left thigh bone. Lengthen your spine. And let everything drape down over your left leg. Breathe. Your head hangs down. As you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. Again, you could take your right hand and rub the backside of your left leg, your left hamstring. Now the choice is yours, with or without a bent left leg. Inhale, take all of the weight into your left foot. Roll to the ball of your right foot. And then exhale, step your right foot forward, forward fold at the top of your mat. Chest to your thighs, let your head hang down, let everything go. Alternating knee bends if you need it. And then slowly roll all the way up. This is your inhale. Get as long as you can, and then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. All right, inhale, float your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips and forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, hands down, step your feet back. Bring your knees to the earth. Inhale to shift yourself forward. And then exhale, bend your elbows, come all the way down, untuck your toes. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And exhale, hips to your heels. Find your child's pose. Roll your forehead side to side if you like it. Breathe. And then on your inhale, press up into your box pose. And as you exhale, curl up your toes, lift your hips up and back, and find your downward facing dog. So the hips go high, chest in towards the thighs. Let your head hang down. This is your first inverted letter V of your practice. So feel it out. Notice if it feels different than it normally would, right? And when you're ready, inhale, float your right leg up to the sky. Three-leg dog. On the exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. Watch your right shoulder. Circle this out if you'd like, right? And then re-extend your right leg as you inhale. On the exhale, step your right foot all the way forward. And then go ahead and bring your left knee back down to the ground. Inhale, bring your shoulders up over your hips, your arms up over your head. This time, exhale, prayer twist to the right. So hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee or thigh. Seal your palms together. And if you're like, it doesn't feel good, stay lifted and open arm twist like we did at the beginning, right? Watching the low back and the hips. We want to be twisting at the navel line, so more thoracic spine, not lumbar spine. Your palms press. And sometimes I notice my right knee starts to kind of travel inward. So I have to really press and take my right knee in towards my left tricep and armpit. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, just frame your front foot with your hands. Shift your hips back. It's a half split. Flex your toes back towards your shin for just a moment. It's just a release out of your hamstring after that deep twist. And then we inhale to walk this back forward. On the exhale, untuck your toes. Slide your blocks back so that you're framing your front foot again. And then if you absolutely hate this, you can totally skip it. I want to stretch the top of your left foot. So inhale here. If it doesn't feel safe, don't. Exhale, lift your left knee up and off of the earth. So stretching everything around your left ankle, the top of your left foot. Breathe. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale your left knee back down to the ground. Now curl up your left toes. Inhale, lift your left knee. And exhale, step forward, forward, fold top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale to fold yourself down. Now this time, inhale, bend your knees. Sit your hips back and down. Let's go ahead and find a chair pose. So Utkatasana, just for a moment. Perfect. And then as you exhale, straighten your right leg and lift your left knee into a single leg bend. So I know some of you are working on your balance postures, right? You can stay right here. I stretched out your left foot in case you want to play with an eagle. So take an inhale here. I'm going to kick my little block out of the way. And on the exhale, you could cross your left leg over the right. You can drop your left toes down like a kickstand. I don't care, right? You're going to really spin your thigh bones internally. So the idea here, it cuts off the femoral artery with the intense squeeze that happens. And then whenever we release, the blood flushes back through and it detoxifies, right? So from here, you could also lift your left foot, cross your left foot behind your right leg for the double wrap for your eagle legs, excuse me. So Garuda, inhale, open your arms out to a T. Exhale, cross your left arm underneath the right. Hug opposite shoulders or eagle up your arms, palm to palm. Breathe. You do not have to go all the way here. It's a gentle flow and a stretch. And there's a lot that goes into this. On your next inhale, start to straighten through your right leg, lift the left. Exhale, reach both arms out and up, straighten up, mountain pose. Stay for your inhale. And then exhale to forward fold, chest to your thighs, drop your head down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, just step back and then lift your hips to downward facing dog. Nothing fancy. And then inhale, float your left leg up to the sky. On the exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, yawn it open, circle it out, whatever you like. And then you inhale, re-extend your left leg. And on the exhale, just step your left foot all the way through. Drop your right knee down to the ground. And then inhale, take your time, but bring your shoulders up over your hips, your arms up over your head. And then with the exhale, prayer twist to the left. So your right elbow comes outside your left knee or thigh. Seal your palms together. Watch the left knee. If it starts to really cave inward, press it more into your right upper arm. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, frame your front foot with your hands, blocks, no blocks, whatever you like. Shift your hips back for a quick Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split to release out of the left hip, left hamstring. And then inhale, walk yourself back forward. Now at this point, I would really say to grab your blocks, especially if you're going to lift the back knee. And from here, press down into your blocks. Zip the pit of your belly in and up. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift your right knee. So the back foot, the top of the foot is down. It is not, the toes are not curled under. Your left knee is still a 90-degree bend. And you're breathing. Press down into the webbing between your thumb and your forefinger. Give yourself a little bit of support here. Squeeze at the base of your pubic bone. So Mula Bandha. Get light, get tight, yeah? Take one more inhale. And then exhale, press your right knee back down into the ground. Curl up your back toes. Inhale, lift your right knee. And then exhale, just step it forward, forward fold at the top of your mat. Let your head hang down. I'm going to slide the blocks out. Inhale, bend into your knees. Sit your hips back and down. Utkatasana, your chair pose. This time your left leg will become your base, so take a breath. And then on the exhale, straighten your left leg, lift your right knee to a 90-degree bend. The sides are different, so I think some of y'all know I have arthritis in my left foot. So the left side is always substantially more wobbly, right? It's okay. You gotta be all right with that. Now from here, you can stay here. It's a great place to work on balance, especially if this is a challenge for you. If you want to move into Garuda, into your eagle, drop your right leg over the left. Remember, it's an internal rotation of your femur heads into the hip sockets. So you're actually going to feel an expansion through the low back, but compression on the front side. Now, your legs can stay the same. You can lift your toes, double wrap your right foot around your left calf. Find something to do. Squeeze at the base of your pubic bone, and then Uddiyana Bandha. Pull the pit of your belly up and in. Create a vacuum-like sensation in your abdomen. And on the inhale, open your arms out. Exhale, cross your right arm underneath the left. Hug opposite shoulders. If that fits like a glove, eagle up the arms, palm to palm. Breathe. Relax your face. And remember, you don't even have to go to this step. You can stop anywhere in between. Really breathe into your upper back. Exhale completely. Inhale, begin to unravel. Place your right foot down on the ground. Reach your arms out and up. Wiggle it out. And then exhale, fold yourself down. Let your head hang. And then on the inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, step yourself back. Lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Chest in towards your thighs. Let everything go. And then when you're ready, come down onto your hands and your knees. And then let's find ourselves in a seated position. So I'm going to wiggle into the center of my mat. I hope you can hear my knees. Telling you. All right, so from here, let's bring the hands back behind your hips, fingertips face towards you. Take your feet about mat's width distance. Just windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And come back into center. And then roll yourself down one vertebra at a time until you're on your back. Once you get there, take a quick happy baby. So peace fingers to your big toes or hands to the outer arches of your feet. Let your low back really press down into the mat, rock it side to side. And then drop your feet down to the ground about hip width distance apart. Press your feet down into the ground. Bring your hands next to your hips. Roll your shoulders back. And then with your inhale, lift your hips up into the sky. Let's do a bridge pose. So just bridge your spine. Breathe here. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, soften it down one vertebra at a time. Supta Baddha Konasana. When you're ready, let the soles of your feet come together, your heels in towards your sits bones, and your knees hang comfortably open for a moment here. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. And then slowly bring your knees back together. All right, y'all. Take your right ankle, cross it over your left knee for a figure four. Slide your right palm in towards your left inner thigh. Let's stretch this all out. And let your knee move away from your torso. And if you're ready for a reclined pigeon, draw your left thigh in towards your chest. There's a baby flex to both feet. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Relax your jaw. Let your upper back, your shoulders, the back of your head be down on the mat. So if you notice you have to really pull up to get here, just release your left foot back down to the ground, right? I don't want this to be a strain. Like, let it just feel right. Now, when you're ready, release your hands from around your left hamstring and cross your right leg completely over your left. So coming into Gomukhasana legs, your hands will come to, you might round your upper back, your shoulders off of the mat. Hands come to your opposite knees or shins, perhaps even down towards the ankles, and then you let yourself come back down. Now pull your legs in towards you while you're pressing the feet away from one another. Really stretch your right outer hip. Nicely done. Breathe here. One more inhale here. Exhale to a happy baby. Peace fingers to the big toes or hands to the outer arches of your feet. I've noticed that I was always taught originally peace fingers to the big toes. I now, in my practice and my experience, I find that I don't really like that, to be honest. And it still comes out of my mouth because it's like it's a habit. I actually prefer my hands to grab my outer arches of my feet. It feels safer on my legs. So you kind of play around with that, right? One person's truth isn't yours, vice versa. Get your hands released, your feet come back down to the mat. Cross your left ankle over your right near thigh. Ooh, Mia's talking to me today. Just be there for a moment. Let your left hand press slightly in towards the inner thigh. Create that space. Just be here. And if you want it, you start to draw your right thigh in towards your chest. There's a flex to both feet to support your knee joint. And you slide your left, nuzzle your left forearm into your left inner thigh. Your collarbones are still broad. So all that work we did on the clavicles and the front shoulder knots, still happening, right? So get honest with yourself as you get fatigued, because even in a gentle, stretchy practice, your body gets fatigued. As you get fatigued, and let's also just be honest, and perhaps a little disconnected or distracted towards the end, does your body go back into the default shapes you typically create? For me, that's a rounded shoulder. So I really have to be present and focused towards the end of class to maintain the same level of integrity. Now release your hands from behind your leg. Cross your left leg completely over the right. And then you might have to lift your chest so that you can grab opposite knees, shins, ankles. And then exhale, come back down. Low back is flat. Pull your legs in towards you. Flex both feet. And try to draw the feet away from one another. Take one more inhale. And then exhale to your happy baby. All right, so from there, have you grab a block, place your feet down on the ground, about maybe hip width distance apart, and then press your feet down and lift your hips. And then slide your block underneath your sacrum. So it's not your lumbar spine, it's the sacrum. And when you're ready for a supported waterfall, take one leg at a time up into the sky. You could close your eyes here. You could even move yourself up to a wall, right? And actually take a legs up the wall pose. I know some of you probably have Sarangasana in your practice, like your shoulder stand series. The only way I really typically teach that in a virtual experience is like through my virtual privates because I need to be able to see you because you're putting a lot of pressure on your neck. So if that's something that you have in your practice and you feel like that would be the next right thing at this moment, I want you to feel free to go there, right? I'm trying to teach it when I can't see you. So you do you, right? If you're with me, I'm going to drop my feet back down and I am actually going to walk my feet out with the block underneath my sacrum and stretch out the top side of my hips one last time. Reach my arms up overhead, grab opposite elbows. If you are in your shoulder stand and you want to take your halasana, your plow pose, I typically have the rule of thumb that I don't go into ear pressure pose unless my toes are touching the ground comfortably in halasana. I just don't see a huge purpose behind it if that's not already happening. Feels like it's more strain for the low back. So if you're with me, slowly walk your feet back underneath your knees so that you can press your soles down. Release your arms down by your hips. Lift your hips and slide your block out from underneath you. Let's all meet right here. I'm going to switch the music to the last song for Shavasana. If you would like to do that as well. And when you're ready, unfurl. Let your body just find itself flat on the earth. Your spine rests on the ground. You can let your heels in and your toes hang comfortably open. Close down your eyes and rest. If what you need is to be here a little bit longer, I truly hope that you stay and stay as long as you'd like. If you are ready to go on about the rest of your day, start by wiggling your fingers and your toes, deepening your breath. And with your inhale, you float your arms up overhead. Find your full body stretch, but remember that it's not necessary. If you're in a good spot and you finally dropped in, just stay. Eventually, knees coming towards the chest. You'll roll over to the right or press straight up to your Sukhasana, your comfortable, easy sit. Just how we started class. With your hands resting in your lap or on your knees. You take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for your body, for what it does for you today, to be hopeful for tomorrow. Thank you all so much for being here whenever it is that you take this practice. I'm always happy to receive requests, things that you want to work on, a particular pose, an area of the body. So reach out, y'all. Like, I mean, that's the hard thing with like the recorded stuff, is that I'm just kind of throwing a dart out into the middle of the room, right? I mean, like, hey, do you receive? Do you receive? So if there's something you need, that's my job. That's why I'm doing this. So tell me, and I will do what I can. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much, and namaste.